This is a deep one. Everyone says that the stars above our head are spirits, right? They're spirits looking down on us. Some people think that. A lot of people think that, to be honest. They think the stars are looking down on us. They're spirits. What do you think about when they're shooting, when you see a shooting star? Do you think that that might be a family's line dying out? The last person of that family's line? If they are spirits, you've heard the analogy, right?
Of course, yeah. I won't be able to answer that conclusively because there's so many there's so many ideas about stars right now. I can tell you when you see a shooting star, you never see it going up that way. You always see it falling down the firmament. You always see it discharging along the firmament, going downwards. Gabrielle Henriette in Worlds Beyond the Poles explains that. It's a discharge along the firmament. So, what are stars? Well, stars are luminous bodies which are conscious, and they are our AnceSTORs. And our AnceSTORs gave birth to us and called us youngsters, sisters, spinsters, mister, master, monster, mobster, fraudster, jester, trickster, pastor, minister, disaster, imposter, rockstar, superstar, movie star. Every one of us is a star. And we have AnceSTORs, and they are the stars. Those stars, they are conscious, luminous bodies which orchestrate all the events, bar none, in history, to the detail, to the point where you may scratch yourself with a knife here one day or not. That'll be in the stars. It's all in the stars. Every single thing that happens to you is orchestrated by your AnceSTORs, the stars. And that's why you'll return as a star. A lot of these Christians, they don't like this talk. People say, people are saying they're gods. I'm a god. Well, Jesus said it. Jesus quoted Moses in the Psalms when he said, did I not say that ye are all sons of God? Well, that's a star. Did I not say that ye are gods? There are two places in the Bible, guys, that tell us specifically that we are gods. It's not a New Age teaching. It's not hocus pocus, honky shonky pseudoscience.
Yeah.
It's a fact, and I don't even understand how Christians could be in such disgust that you could call yourself a god when Jesus.
They've been hoodwinked, haven't they, Santos, because of the corruption of the Bible, right? The amount of times the Bible's been corrupted and edited. Poor guys and girls that are
poor people, mate. Look, when I call these people stupid, I include myself in that as well, man. I don't consider myself anything special when it comes to intelligence. I'm just a dude. I'm just a researcher. But when I acknowledge how little I know and how stupid I am, and then I see people more stupid, I just feel so depressed. Sometimes I just want to end my life.
Yeah, but all you can do is what you're doing, Santos, right? You've done more than 1 million people out there. The fact that you've even got the stuff you've done, you should be able to lie down in bed at night and actually be happy with the amount of people you have woken up, mate. You don't feel obligated to do any more than what you've already done. I hope you don't feel obligated to do any more. You probably do because of your conscience, but don't, man. I don't know why you would even. You're the reason we're all awake, mate. And you're sitting there thinking you got to do more. You've done more than anyone in the world's done. For God's sake, you got up there in front of people with a whiteboard. That's people are embarrassed to even talk in front of one person. You got up there and just said, "Listen, this is how it is. This is what's going on. Are you listening?" And the fact you've done that is so admirable, man. Everyone takes the hat off to you. I'm speaking for everyone when I say that because I know they do as well as I do. Also, you know what's onto another thing, brother. You know what's really, really crazy? I noticed the other day. You know, if it's night time here in Australia, right, and I'm looking up at the moon, the background is black, right? The moon has a black background. The night sky is black. But then somewhere where you are, you can still see the moon, right, in the daylight sometimes, and the background is blue. So I'm looking at a moon with a black background, and you're looking at a moon with a blue background. How weird is that?
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really weird, I feel. I don't know. It hit me a bit because I saw it during the day down here in Oz, and I'm like, man, someone's looking at that with a black background in America right now. I thought that was awesome. That's not a question, so you don't have to answer it, but it's just an observation. But a question, you obviously know about ley lines, don't you, brother?
Yep.
And you know about the St. Michael's line, that line that runs...
yeah, I walked on it when I was in
Yeah.
England, in Glastonbury.
Oh, there you go, yeah. He knows it. There's nothing this guy doesn't know, my man. But yeah, the St. Michael's ley line, for anyone that doesn't know, is a line of churches that runs, I think it's east to west. I don't know, Santos would know, bottom left-hand corner to right-hand corner.
East, west, north,
like
south.
that.
It's sort of like that.
And then there's another line that also runs from Ireland directly down to Israel, Palestine. That is, it's called the line of Michael as well, the archangel that defeated Lucifer, supposedly killed Lucifer. Do you know about this one, bro? Because I'll go on about it if you don't know about it.
No, go for it, please.
Okay. Yeah, no. There's a line that runs directly from Israel now, and it connects 7 huge monasteries. I'm talking massive monasteries, and it's a direct straight line with the exact measurements between each monastery, 1,000 kilometers exactly. Now, it's that exact to the point where they built one of these monasteries in France. The water it must have been built. I think you would have seen it, right? It's a huge church that's just in the middle of like a big sand desert. There's nothing else around it except this massive church. It's called the Church of St. Michael in France, and it's hard to show a photo while we're on a podcast, but everyone will know what I'm talking about when they see it. It's one of the biggest churches in the world, and they're all directly in line with each other. So that's the line that he took. Supposedly, he started in Ireland in these caves. Are the first monasteries? It's a bunch of caves, stone-built caves, and it runs all the way through Europe, through France, through Italy, all the way down to Palestine, Israel, and it finishes with a monastery in Palestine, Israel. And apparently, that is the path that he took to defeat Lucifer. So he woke up one day and he decided that, why is the world like this? We have to figure out why it's like this. And that's where he got his teachings, where he was born in Ireland. And then he took this path, just as all these prophets do, they take this path of walking along it and taking their teachings along the path. And every single church along that path has the name Michael in it.
Yeah.
It's just this direct, straight line, 1,000 kilometers between. And until you guys... I think me and Santos were going to have Santos and I were going to have a discussion on a podcast one day. I was going to mention this to you anyway, Santos, so I might as well just say it now, and then I can just refer people back to this questionnaire that I'm doing. But if you guys go, if it's okay with Santos, my Instagram page is all I've got. It's called the Black Raven Society. You'll find the video that I'm talking about this St. Michael's line. It's something it's going to blow a lot of your people's minds because a lot of Christians that know what they're talking about will actually have, instead of Jesus above their door, they'll have a photo of the Archangel Michael killing
Yeah.
Lucifer with a sword. And that's the person we're talking about here. So we don't know who this figure is, but for them to put this much effort into creating these aren't just churches, guys. These are behemoth-sized monasteries, and they go all the way to the Holy Land. And I've found that especially that modern-day Christians will have it above their door as some sort of protection, right? That's why people do that. Santos, they put it above the door for protection. Because I'm not Christian myself, so I think that's why they would do it. At least it makes sense.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, that archetype has existed all the time. It's just that churchgoers have appropriated it for themselves and named it Jesus, but it's not. It's Michael. And here in Mexico, it's Quetzalcoatl. And in India, it's Krishna. It doesn't matter. It's only the one. And there's only one. There is only one. The fact that
about the archetypes.
Yep. All religions are monotheistic and polytheistic at the same time. Simple. Why is that? Well, it's simple. Because God is electromagnetism. And electromagnetism has many mechanics to it for it to produce the sonoluminescent physical phenomena that we experience in the physical world. And each different expansion or breakdown of that pure white light gets to be called a god. So the top god will always have no name, but if it's going to be given a name, it will be either Krishna or Christ. Then will come Vishnu, then Brahma, then Shiva, then Saint Michael, then Lucifer, then Satan, but they're all the same thing. It's like a car, okay? You've got a car. You call the whole thing a car. But the car's got a steering wheel, which you don't call car. You don't say, hey, I'm turning my car. No, you're turning your steering wheel. When you put your brake on, you don't say, hey, I'm putting my car on. No, you say, I'm putting my brake on. The car's got wheels. It's got motor. There are all different parts to that car. See, so there is one car and many parts. There is one God and many gods.
What split us up, Santos? We all believed in the same God. It's the same God for all these religions. What the hell split us up into having our own languages? Maybe not our own languages, but why have we all changed the God? It's like that game we played at school when we speak to each other in the ear, and then by the time it gets around the circle, it's something completely different. Well, why have we all got some different God now when it's the same God?
Simple. Because of forgetfulness. When souls incarnate, Macrobius, one of my favourite Neoplatonists, 1600 years ago, said, the reason, when he was quoting the dream of Scipio, or Scipio as English people pronounce it, but I call it Scipio because I'm Italian and that's how his name is. It's Scipio, the dream of Scipio, the great general who defeated Hannibal in Africa, Rome's greatest general. He had a dream, and in that dream, all things were revealed to him. And he explained that as souls come through the Milky Way, through the rings of Saturn, then Jupiter, then Mars, then through the portal of the Sun, then Venus, then Mercury, then the Moon, and then their bodies made of all the elements, gold, zinc, magnesium, copper, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, then they become a physical body. And the degree in which they decline from their source, and as they go through those planets to receive their bodies, a certain amount of forgetfulness of their godship, their original godship, comes to them. And some forget more than others because they drank too much of the cup of Lethe. And the cup of Lethe is a deacon of Leo. So souls incarnate at the Tropic of Cancer, and then they go down to the Tropic of Capricorn, but the next sign is Leo. And Macrobius said, when they hit Leo, there is the crater, the Holy Grail. It's one of the deacons. It's called crater. It's the cup. It's in your heart. And he said, many drink too much of the cup of Lethe, and they forget about the true nature of God. Hence, we have so many varied opinions and arguments and discord about God. But that's not God's problem. That's not the universe's problem. That's your and my problem. Some people have kept their memory. Some people have kept that science in their heart. And they listen to it. They allow their intuition. They don't let their school indoctrination beat it out of them. See, I never listened to teachers. All my teachers, every single teacher I said, they would say to me, Sammy, because I used to be called Sammy at school, Sam, you will be the death of me. They used to hate me because I never listened. I never listened to their bullshit. They were so fucking boring. I remember once I was so bored I brought a condom to school, and I blew this condom up, filled it up with water, went around, spun it around and just went boom, and I think I smashed it against the teacher's blackboard, and I think I got expelled for a week or something. That's how bored I was. I used to, yeah, I bought it.
Look how smart you are, dude.
Huh?
And like look how smart you are, like how knowledgeable you are as a person. And this is what teachers do these days. They had me on Ritalin in grade 4 because they diagnosed me with ADHD. They weren't going to let me go to grade 5 unless I was on pills. Luckily, after 2 weeks of being on them, my mum took me off them. To this day, you know what I am for a profession? I'm an architect. So whatever they're doing in school, these teachers have no idea how to control some children. And just extension on what you're saying, you're probably the most knowledge-filled person that we know. You can recall things. It's unbelievable what you can do. And I'm sure that teachers would have said that you've got trouble concentrating and we can't deal with Santos and this and that. And it's like, what do they expect kids to do? To just sit there and stare blankly at them while they talk about fractions in grade 5?
Yeah, I was off with the fairies. I was out of school by 14 and a half. It was 1977. It was a week after Elvis Presley died in September of 1977. Elvis Presley died. I remember crying because I loved him. And then I got caught smoking for the third time. And the vice principal brought me into his office and he said, all right, we've got 2 options for you. We're going to kick you out, or you're going to leave. And his name was Chimpy because he was a little... Chimpy, he turned out to be a pedophile. They caught him. They caught him in old people's home, fiddling with their private parts. Anyway, this Chimpy, he had to stand on his chair to give me three whips on the hand. You know, just about broke my fingers, man. Whack with his whip. You know, I had my 2 hands, mate. They stung for a week. Anyway, when he said you can leave, you can just leave. Like all my dreams, I just thought, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. School, I can leave? You're telling me I can leave before 15? Because 15 was the legal age. You could not leave, in Australia, you can't leave school before 15. And I was out of there 14 and a half. You know, I was embarrassed of that for decades. Now, I tell the world, I tell everybody, I'm so proud of the fact. And even though I thought I was a dumbass when I was at school, I was 1 billion times smarter than all of the teachers put together. 1 billion times smarter. Even though I did not consider myself, I don't have any arrogance at all about my intelligence. I don't think anything exceedingly about my intelligence. My gift is remembering and intuition and research. That's my gift. That's where I get what I've got. Otherwise, apart from that, I do as much stupid stuff as you or anyone that's listening does. Yeah, if you were a fly on the wall,
you'd struggle to do as much as me. You'd struggle to do as much as me, but I think
I'll do 10 times more. 10 times more. Anyone listening, I do 10 times more dumb shit than you every day. Every day.
But you're smart at the same. But you're like smart at the same time, though. You're brilliant at the same time. So is that what the conundrum of life is for you, my bro?
It's a paradox, man. I don't understand it. I'm not worthy of syncretism. I don't know why the gods gave me this knowledge, because it is the only thing, the only